This is Scott McKye from CLEERTECH, who provided the badge holders.
Good morning. I'm very sorry that I was late, and so I hope you can forgive me. I am part Canadian, so maybe that much will be in my favor. I appreciate what she just said, and I think that really should be the #1 option, is try to reuse. Actually, I think it's reduce is probably the first, or excuse me, rethink the entire what you're doing. It should be the first thing, and then it moves to, reduce and then reuse. But we manufacture an awful lot of these kind of products, and I think that one of the things that's important to keep in mind is the life cycle of the product that you're talking about using. That's the first thing. And these are not going to be used for very long. So if you can reuse them, that's great. But you also have a subset that you have to think about. One is, in most cases, they're not generic. They are personalized, at least customized, if not personalized. And secondly, believe it or not, there is some health concerns when you pass these things on to somebody else. The germs will live an inordinate amount of time, and I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't done a little bit of research on this. So, you could actually, in an attempt to actually help by reducing and reusing, you could actually pass on somebody else's germs, because if you think about this, I mean, it is in a place where somebody could, and so that's not a sales pitch to try to get you to reuse, to start buying more. That's not the point. The point is that in most cases, at least in North America, they're a 3-day event maximum. So the best thing to do is to come up, at least what I've found, is that when you look at all the figures for all the time, and I admit Canada is much better at recycling and more eco-conscientious than I think the participants and the attendees in the United States are, it's still, you're not going to get even 10% of the amount of these ever really where you can retrieve them, especially the larger the event. So what we've decided to do is, and we've gone to great lengths to do this, is to find as much biodegradable materials as you can find. Not recycled, because there's going to be a big debate about how much is actually recycled. What amount of content constitutes recycled? Is it 10%? Is it 20? What's the magic number? I mean, I don't really know, and I don't think anybody else really does. So why not just go to something else that you can take, and at the end of the event, which you know is going to happen in most cases, is just going to get left somewhere. Most people are not going to keep this and memorialize the occasion, and look at it and fun. They're going to dispose of it. So you might as well send it to something, make it of a material that's going to be biodegradable. And we've found at least 3 materials so far, and again, at least 2 of those we buy here in Canada, the raw materials that are biodegradable, and you can set the biodegradability of any of these things from anything from 20 days up to 10 years, up to indefinitely, depending upon the kind of material you buy. And that's really important, because the life cycle of the whole product, if you think about it, you're not going to use those products anything more than maybe 2 years, 3 years. Your event must not be doing very well if you have carryover every year. I'm thinking so that when you top off at the end of the 2nd year, you're done. You don't really want this product to be have a lifespan of any more than, say, 3 years, and then just let it become either part of the soil, biomass, like the biopolymers, the PLAs. And there's new ones that are coming up from South America that will be in the market by next year. PLA, as you know, is a corn plastic, but there's sugarcane plastic, and it's just as good, and it has its own advantages. So I guess the only thing I really want to make a point of is this: it's really important as suppliers, at least I think it is, to make sure that whatever you bring to the public, you have not just accepted what somebody else told you just because they slapped the word green on it, or eco-friendly, or bio this, or any of those kind of terms. Those, most of the time, denote, well, it's environmentally friendly. But in reality, unless you've actually checked that out, and I've had egg on my face already, and I don't want anybody else to have to go through that. And on April 15th in St. Louis, I saw it happen to another supplier when a lady that's going from city to city with her green guru speeches, completely trashed a supplier that she was able to prove that the product was not biodegradable. It wasn't even close, but they slapped their name on it and they put that tag on it, and that's just not right. You and I do not have all the time it takes to be able to, or the years, to be able to go through and find out, well, is this product really biodegradable? Will it really do what anybody says it's going to do? So suppliers really, if they have any kind of consideration of the kind of position that you all are in from time to time, they're going to go out on their own to a third party and have that stuff identified, verified on whatever kind of standards you want to use, and there's plenty of them. So we make it a point to do that. We even go to 2 labs past the people that we get the certification from the raw materials, because we want to make sure that you're never embarrassed, because we'd be mortified if that ever happened. So thank you very much.
Thank you.